And so after a mammoth day of racing here at the Sepang International Circuit, myself, Jeevan Somanathan and Ross Yufazov are now at the 10th race. The race 2 of the final class, which is the Open 250. This was a very interesting race when it happened at about 1 o'clock this afternoon.
Yep.
And here is the starting grid for it. Zafir Zamani, Surya Narayana. He was the man that won it earlier on today. Prabhu Arunagiri fighting for 5th and 6th earlier. Ayman Tairuddin topping the championship and, of course, in the points as well. 4, 5, 6, Yaptek Chow and Luth Harith B. Irwan. Now, those two, of course, had a bit of a, should we say, an altercation.
In row 3, you've got Vishwadev, Khairul Anwar Jamil, and Haikal Suhaimi, 7, 8, and 9.
Mohammed Jazil Juraimi, obviously getting ready for his 250. That's exactly why he didn't make his podium.
That's why the
That is
representative
slick, by the way. Angelo Neo and Carol Izzard. It's slick to not make the podium because you're racing somewhere else.
Lee Tatmak, Lau Wing Fai, and Shamshir Hamimi, 13, 14, 15.
So slick. Yaptek Hao, Tenku Efi Martino, and Afik Daniel Bogas in 16th, 17th, and 18th.
Dennis Lee Tim Yao, Fauzi Hassan, Azrin Ghazali, 19, 20, 21.
Mohammed Zulfadli Ishak, Mohammed Hanif Abdul Malik, and Mohammed Herzi Ismail, 22, 23, and 24.
Ritesh Sap, Tengku Marwan Mansoor, and Lee Si Ton make up the 9th row.
Those are our 27 starters, so a big grid. Now, as we said earlier, it was Surya Narayana that came out on top. Luth Harith B. Irwan came up. Harith B. Irwan came in 2nd for Team Promax, and Mohammed Ayman Tairuddin came in 3rd. But there was an incident. There was an incident between Ayman Tairuddin and Luth Harith B. Irwan. There was contact between their wheels, and it looked like Ayman was not too happy with that, as you wouldn't be, because of course it did mean that Luth Harith came in 2nd for that. So it was a Promax 1-2 in the opening race as they get off on their sighting lap. Track looking much drier now, as you can see, no trails coming off the wheels. It's actually looking almost fully dry, but I'm never going to stick my neck out that far. That was a lot of rain that turned up at 4 o'clock. That was about 2 hours ago now. So this will be the final race in what has been quite an extraordinary day of racing up at the Sepang International Circuit, which you've got to enjoy through the digital age and, of course, live stream technology. Wonderful thing about all of this coming through your Facebook page and, of course, being on the net is that you can also go and check the official websites needed for all the information that you need. Commentators are kind of a thing of the past, I suppose, now. We're just here to watch the action and really get into the excitement. But if you want the actual down to the 4 decimal places racing times, if you're an absolute die-hard motorsport enthusiast, then get on to www.sepangcircuit.com. All of these championships that you've seen, Super Sport, Super Stock, Open 250, KTM RC 390 and Superbikes are broken down for you in the most comprehensive site you can think of. You've got regulations, you've got rules, you've got all the events broken down over the year, and of course schedules as well. So the North Circuit being used again, 2.706 kilometers, 9 corners, and the Open 250 riders get to benefit from a much drier track. So this should be a little bit more like the initial race that we saw earlier on. You can see the setting sun at Sepang, and that's just going to help a little bit more with that final drying, but it does look like it's a pretty dry track right now. Good enough. So just about ready for the last 16 laps of the day. That is Mohammed Ayman Tairuddin just there on the left of your screen, 2nd bike with the aquamarine blue.
2 flags gone, red lights will illuminate.
And we are off. And now a bit of a wheelie from Ayman, but that's managed to get him to a really good start. He's weaving all over the place, but he should get a good jump into turn 1 from that. Huge start from him. Of course, he's going to be looking to do better than his 3rd spot. All the riders through turn 1, thankfully. lot of incidents on turn 1 today. Ayman settling into a rhythm immediately. Now, just behind him, well, we'll just get an idea of where everyone's settled in.
16 laps, of course, around this north part of the Sabang circuit, and we had rain, just to remind you, at 4 p.m. earlier on. And you can see the shadows, the sun's come out now, and the track looks completely dried as well.
Just a little bit. I was just saying that, yes, it looked like the oblique rays of the setting sun are going to just dry off the last patches of it. So these guys should be facing pretty much the same conditions they did this morning, except a lot less hot, of course.
So Ayman Tahirudin, bike 55, is currently leading Surya Narayana, bike 9. In third place, we've got Zafir Zamani, bike 17. Prabhu Aruna Giri is 4th, and Vishwadeth 5th.
And Luth Harith Bir1, of course, finished second, is now down to 6th off that early start. So it's definitely something he's going to be trying to work on in the next 15 laps.
It's about 2 seconds between our leader, Ayman Tahirudin, and 6th place, Luth Harith Irwan. That's the gap at the moment.
And once again, these absolute road bikes on road fuel. You'd be surprised how similar these bikes are to the bikes you see lining up next to you in traffic jams when you're in the city, or of course on the highways when you're out. These have been tweaked up to strict Dorna regulations for the Superbike Championship, but they're essentially road-going chassis. And those chassis currently being handled again by Ayman Tahirudin and Surya Narayana. Surya trying to come out wide, Ayman shuts the door on him.
Interestingly, 5th place now, Luth Harith Irwan. He's put in the fastest lap.
Well, I didn't expect him to be down in 5th, to be honest, so maybe he had a bit of a rough start. But now he's looking at, now of course the light conditions at twilight. I know I'm always breaking these things down like really down to minutia, but the fact is the light conditions at twilight are an entirely different situation. It's not direct light, so at certain corners you're going to actually have the light in your eyes when you're going and trying to make these very intricate moves. Just another one of the tiny details that these riders have to, you know, process, comprehend and react upon in milliseconds. The gap now 0.4 between the first two, but then there is a bit of a drop-off. Then 3rd to 5th, just a second between them. 6th to 8th, just a second between them. 9th to 12th, a second between them. All of this playing into Ayman Tahirudin's hands. If there's more battles behind him, then there'll be less battles for him. Luth Harith again has just jumped to the front.
Yeah, he's up front, bike 38, the guy with the yellow helmet, although he's just been passed now.
I know, and he managed to do that from a 1:17.966 lap. He's the only rider now to have broken the 1:18 barrier.
Now Zafir Zamani is in second.
Blinding lap from him. Now the question is, where is Ayman Tahirudin? Well, he's in 10th. Now how he's managed to drop down to 10th and lose 5 seconds off the lead is of great interest to me. That really makes me wonder now. Ayman Tahirudin is the kind of rider that you'd expect to be breaking back into that top 6, but we're going to have to find out later on as to what happened to him on lap 2. Because I'm sure he wasn't going to allow he wasn't planning on that. But still, that blinding lap by Luth Harith Bir1 means that he is indeed, and it is a Team Pro Max 1-2 again. Maybe it's a setup of their bikes today, but they have just been going faster than everybody else. Now, Mohammed Ayman Tayruddin, whatever happened to him, he's just set the fastest lap, 1:17.461, and the fastest Sector 2 time as well. So whatever happened to him, he's trying to make amends for it for sure, but he's got to make up at least 4 seconds and through 7 other riders if he's going to be challenging for the podium, or at least the top 2 spots, which is what he would be used to, of course. Could have been a slip, could have been a slide, could have been a wobble. But it's all played into the hands of Team Promax Suzuka Oil Racing. And they really have been in great form. Zafir Zamani down to 3rd. Mohammed Haikal Shuhaimi in 4th. Vishwad FM in 5th. Mohammed Jassel Juraimi in 6th. And I still think it was really slick the way that he had to miss his podium, winning it, so that he could take part in this race. There's been continuous back-to-back racing for Mohammed Jassel Juraimi. It's pretty unbelievable. Prabhu Arunagiri in 6th. Vishwad M is now down to 7th. Yap Tek Chow is up to 8th. And Khairul Anwar Jamil 9th. And still, Ayman Tayruddin, with the fastest lap, is in 10th. All of a sudden, it's almost like he teleported himself from 2nd spot to 10th.
But Surya Narayana, this morning's winner, or rather race 1's winner,
has now taken Luth.
Yeah. He's, well, it's a very close, 0.16 seconds between 1st and 2nd.
Well, it was a Team Promax Suzuka 1-2 earlier in the day in this order, Surya and Luth. A little bit questionable for Luth Harith's 2nd place after that incident with Ayman Tayruddin in the earlier race. This time, though, both of them are absolutely on form. And they are now 0.8 of a second ahead of Zafir Zamani. And I expect that to increase. And as I said, for Ayman Tayruddin, well, fastest lap or not, you have 7 riders to get through before you can start pushing either of these Team Promax Suzuka Oil Racing bikes.
Having said that, it's 3 seconds, 2.979 seconds.
I think it's different when you're going to go through, you know, as I said,
he's up to 8th now.
He's up at 8th now, and he's again put in an even faster lap, 1:17.044. But it's not getting through back markers that are going to get out of your way. This is getting through people that are actually competing and are going to shut the door on you. So whether he's got 10 laps of pure racing brilliance in him to get up to 3rd, that would be an amazing comeback, and it would be, again, adding to the great races we've seen this afternoon. I'm just going to keep an eye on Ayman Tayruddin's lap times because he really is flying. So current standings, Luth Harith BO1 has just taken the lead back from his teammate Surya Narayana. Mohammed Jassel Juraimi up into 3rd, still racing after KTM RC390 and on the podium, or in the podium position.
Well, he might make the podium this time.
He might make the podium this time.
If he gets the podium.
Well, he has representatives to make various podiums around. Mohammed Haikal Shuhaimi from Fast Throttle Sports is in 4th. Prabhu Arunagiri in 5th. Vishwad FM in 6th. Yap Tek Chow in 7th. And Ayman Tayruddin again in 8th now from 10th. I don't think that he's got enough laps to do this. He's up to 5th now with a 1:16.764. The only rider that has broken the 1:16 barrier, Mohammed Ayman Tayruddin. No one knows what happened to him on that 2nd lap when he dropped from 2nd to 10th, but he's certainly making amends for it now.
Yep, he's up to 5th, 2.2 seconds behind the leader.
He's also set the last 3 fastest laps, 1:16 and 2 1:17s. And is now, as I said, the only rider, there you go, the only rider with that 1:16.764 to have broken into 1:16. Now, if he can keep that up, he might still make 3rd. Very easily. He's, in fact, only 2 seconds off the leader. So,
meanwhile, up front,
how did he get to 10th? I don't understand how he got to 10th.
Both the Team Promax Suzuka Oil Racing riders are leading. Surya Narayana from teammate Luth Harith Irwan.
Again, exactly the way it was. I think maybe they set up their bikes a little bit better this time. That Yamaha R25 from Ayman Tayrudin still with the fastest lap of 1:16.764, but the Team Promax on the Honda CBR 250s, those Hondas were definitely set up perfectly for this race day today. Been doing very well indeed. So as we get into the final stretch, 8 laps left now, halfway through the race. Just saw the times on the left of your screen. Interesting, Ayman Tayrudin now up to 3rd with a 1:16.784. He's actually not just only set a 1:16.764 as the best lap, he's now lapping at 1:16.7.
So he's got his podium.
Well, he's got his podium.
I think he wants more.
At this, yeah, he's now 0.8 of a second off. I don't know how he got down to 10th. It must have just been a pack of riders snapping at his heels, and when he went across the line, ended up in 10th, but has done everything he needed to do to get straight back into it. It just goes to show you that if you have the skills, you can really move up the ladder very, very quickly.
Race leader Surya Narayana, who also won race 1, followed by teammate Luth Harith Irwan in the yellow helmet.
Well, Mohammed Ayman Tayrudin has just set another new fastest lap, 1:16.747. It's not just being the only rider that's broken 1:16, he's just cutting slices off 1:16 as well. If he keeps this up, he's seriously going to catch up. He's now 0.2 of a second, he's 0.1 of a second behind Luth Harith.
Well, he
it's
can
that
see
situation
that's
again.
it. He can see the first and second in front of him now.
Now, we all know what happened the last time these two got together on the track in 2nd and 3rd. That was this afternoon. There was a wheel contact, and Ayman had to finish 3rd in the end, so he's going to be watching out for that.
And then I think they exchanged numbers for WhatsApp.
Yeah, they may have. Or maybe even just exchange insurance details for the bikes. Who knows? These are road bikes.
But it's a stunning ride by bike number 55,
it really is.
Ayman Tayrudin. He was up the front, then he dropped down to 10th. Now he's back up to 3rd. He's just 0.3 seconds behind Surya Narayana, the leader. Bike 55, 3rd in your picture there, behind the yellow helmet.
Now let's not forget that he was 5 seconds behind when he was in 10th. He's made up 5 seconds in about 5 laps. Now, I honestly didn't think he had enough laps.
4th place bike 32. Prabhu Arunagiri is also riding a very good race. He's 0.8 seconds behind the leader. He's keeping in there in this pack of 4.
Now, this was a very close championship. Ayman Tayrudin going into round 4 today was at 103 points. Jasil Juraimi was in 2nd with 95 points. It was 8 points separating them. Vishwadev was in 3rd with 68, and Luth Harith Irwan was in 4th with 65. Well, now, as I said, Promax have done so well today that Surya Narayana is definitely going to be climbing up that ladder.
Well, Ayman Tayrudin is now just chasing down Surya Narayana. He's taken Luth Harith Irwan.
Well, that's unbelievable stuff from him. It really is.
I'd love to know what happened.
I'd love to know what happened.
Did he miss a gear? Did his shoe come off?
It could have been. It could have actually been a missed gear, because that would have at least left him slower for a second. But there's obviously no damage to the bike, because it is the fastest bike on the track.
Surya Narayana throwing a glance behind him, and he would have seen.
Well, look at that. He's
big bike, 55.
An even faster 1:16 from Ayman Tayrudin. 1:16.68. He's accelerating.
He's taken the lead.
He's now taken the lead. Unbelievable comeback from dropping down to 10th. But there's obviously nothing wrong with his bike whatsoever. So perhaps it was a wobble. Maybe it was a bit of a shake.
Maybe he had a phone call.
Maybe he just took a very wide line onto turn 1. We've seen people lose a lot of places, but to suddenly lose 5 seconds and then make up those 5 seconds with a string of 1:16 laps is unbelievable racing, and I think just tops it off. So now Surya Narayana is going to be very worried, because he's only 0.1 of a second ahead of this meteor that's coming behind him.
He's chasing. He's chasing Mohammed Tayrudin.
Oh, that's right, because of course we're looking at the old lap results. Tayrudin's already in front.
So Lutharith Irwan is now a distant third, 0.6 seconds, roughly.
Well, that's all three of them there, isn't it? That would be...
Yep.
Now, one of these Pro Max bikes are going to get a little bit frustrated that this, you know, rogue Yamaha R25 has just basically blasted the field. By the way, Mohamed Ayman is not the only person that has posted a 1:16 lap now. Prabhu Anugiri has also put in a 1:16.988.
It's a great ride from Prabhu Arunagiri.
But a fantastic ride from Ayman Tairudin.
Yeah.
Absolutely fantastic. He only had 16 laps. Started off in second, dropped down to 10th.
Have we changed leads again? It's Lutharith Irwan.
Yes,
who's
Lutharith
taken
Irwan
the lead.
has snuck up with 4 laps to go. Now this is exactly the situation we saw earlier on. All three of them battling it out right till the end. It was just 2 laps to go before there was a wheel contact between Ayman and Luth. 1:16.680 still the fastest.
Still the fastest man on track.
But let's, you know, I'm just going to remind you, he's had at least 3 1:16s, maybe 2 1:17s, just to cut back that 5-second delay that he had. It's almost a drive-through, a ride-through penalty that he had, which we just didn't see. Of course, we would have known if it was a ride-through penalty. We get alerted about these things by race control, but
now
probably a wobble.
3 laps to go.
It was a wobble that shook him into unbelievable form. So Luth is in front, Ayman behind him, Surya just behind him, and now closing up on them is Prabhu Anugiri, benefiting from that 1:16.988 lap. But it's a huge swing, and Ayman, after all that great work,
That might be what happened earlier
that
on
might
as well.
actually be exactly what happened. Pushed himself too hard, and is now looking like he can't do it again, can he?
He's dropped back down to 4th. Now he's chasing Prabhu Arunagiri.
He's just making it more difficult for himself, essentially, because, I mean, if he does pick up a second every one of these 3 laps, then he could even do it again. He is now, well, we'll find out. I'd say visually that's probably about a 0.7, maybe a 1.2, 1.3 gap. Lutharith looks like he's going to advance that second spot that he picked up rather controversially, you could say. He just has to keep it nice and easy. That's his teammate behind him. Big celebrations for Team Pro Max today if they can pull off the double-double, which would of course mean 1-2 wins for both races. You have to say the mechanics are going to sit down and go, right, well, that was a good day, as they carve their way through the back markers. Well, once again, Ayman Tairudin just pushed it too far. We have a new fastest lap from Surya Narayana, 1:16.494. I don't know if he's doing that just to get away from Ayman or whether he's doing that to catch his teammate. But it's now looking more and more likely. And Ayman actually lost 1.3 seconds in that slip.
Now, Surya is actually leading now. He's leading his teammate, Lutharith Irwan, with 2 laps to go.
0.1 of a second. I actually said that that gap was 1.2 and it was 1.317. Wow. I'm quite impressed with that. I really didn't think that was going to happen. Wow, as we look at the 2 Team Pro Max Suzuka Oil racing bikes, there they are, that have been ruling the day. These 2 bikes have been untouchable in the Open 250 class.
About to start their final lap.
So, 15 laps done, Sector 1 absolutely blazed by Surya. That's Ayman Tairudin in 3rd. He could have been streaking out first if it wasn't.
He could have finished.
Let's make sure he gets through turn 1. There he is. Because he did take, I mean, we could guess a number of things, but that's obviously where he was pushing the bike a bit too much. So it looks like he's going to have to settle for another third, which of course is going to help him anyway.
Now, it's looking like Surya Narayana is going to cap a wonderful Sunday's racing.
Now, Jazil Juraimi is in 7th. I wonder if racing in the KTM RC390 and then racing in the Open 250 has led to that, because he's actually 2nd in the table with 95 points. The biggest threat to Ayman Tayruddin would have been Jazil Juraimi coming 2nd or even 1st. Well, there's a big take there. I think it's a back marker. No, they're teammates. It's just trading places.
And we're going into the home straight now.
Well, how does Surya feel about that? Your teammate just basically...
Luth Harith Irwan wins it from his teammate, Surya Narayana.
Well, that wasn't the greatest of team dynamics that we saw there.
Ayman Tayruddin 3rd.
Luth this time just pips him.
Arunagiri 4th, Vishwadev 5th, Haikal Suhaimi 6th, and Jazil Juraimi has come in 7th.
Now, what a ride from the 2 Team Promax riders. That really was unbelievable stuff from them. Haikal Suhaimi ended up 6th, Jazil Juraimi finished 7th, Yaptek Chow in 8th, and Khairul Anwar Jamil in 9th, which means Angelo Neo should finish in 10th.
So that's the Open 250. That's the winner, Luth Harith Irwan. Bike 38 from Team Promax Suzuka Oil Racing.
The ruling team of the day in the Open 250 class, as they have done the double-double by getting 1-2s in both the first race and the second race. A very, very good weekend for the Team Promax Suzuka Oil Racing team. Well done to all the riders, of course, and it did in the end turn out to be a very dry track. No one's ever going to know the story, the ballad of Ayman Tayruddin, what happened to him on the second lap, what could have happened had he stayed in 2nd spot, because he was undoubtedly the fastest man on the track. And though Surya Narayana did put in a 1:16.494, that was a one-off. Mohammed Ayman Tayruddin had 3 1:16 laps in that comeback from the 10th spot. Unbelievable stuff from him. And to still get a 3rd spot means that he did, in the end, at least manage to get a result. What if he finished in 10th? Exactly. So as they move into Parc Fermé, and a big hug for all the team mechanics at Promax, and that's what we wanted to see. Wasn't actually sure as to whether they were fighting at the end for 1st and 2nd, but of course, every man has his own championship to win. Really good ride again, and another good race. We just saw different races in the afternoon session. We saw very close stuff in the KTM RC390. We look at the results from the Open 250. Luth Harith Irwan has come out on top with 20:51.744. Surya Narayana with 20:51.819. Mohammed Ayman Tayruddin somehow manages 3rd with 20:53.435. Prabhu Anu Arunagiri and Vishwadev M with a good showing for India in 4th and 5th. Haikal Shafiq, Mohammed Jazil Juraimi in 6th and 7th. Yaptek Chow, Khairul Anwar Jamil and Angelo Neo 7th to 10th.
Finishing 11th, Shamsher Hamimi, Yaptek Chow, Lau Wing Fai, Lee Tat Mak, Tenku Efi, that's 12 to 15. Then you've got Herzi Ismail in 16th, Helmi Ghazali 17th, Dennis Tiam Yao in 18th, Afik Daniel Bogus in 19th, and Tunku Marwan Mansour in 19th. 20th.
And Mohammed Hanif Malik, Mohammed Zulfadli Ishak, Lisi Torn, Zafir Zamani, who was in 3rd at one point.
Yeah.
Khairul Izzad, Mohammed Fauzi Hassan, and Ritesh Sapre finish off the rundown up to 27th.